So yesterday was pretty much just how to graph by hand. And it's definitely good to know how to graph by hand because a lot of that information will help you find things. But the downside to graphing by hand is it has to be really accurate for us to find answers from it. And this section today, if you're trying to find answers by graphing, the methods that you guys know how so far won't really help that much. I mean, like, you could make a pretty good guess at answers by graphing by hand, but that's not going to help us really. So we need actual answers. So today what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over how to find answers from accurate graphs, and we'll use Desmos for that. Unless, if you guys have a graphing calculator, you can use that too. So something or other to graph with. Now, the annoying thing about solutions is they have a whole bunch of different names. So the x-intercepts of a graph will be known as solutions. They'll sometimes be called roots, and they'll sometimes be called zeros. And they all are the exact same thing. And I have most definitely seen the textbook use all different terms. Now, for the most part, the term they use is usually what type of problem you're working on. So, I mean, that kind of determines the wording they use, but they're all the exact same thing. Does anybody need this page up yet? Yes, I'll wait. Okay, we're going to do this one together. So we're going to solve x squared plus 2x minus 3. And we're going to find the roots slash solutions slash zeros. Now, do you guys remember how to type it in? Excellent. Where's my graph? Do I have it on the next page? I do.
Plus 2x minus
X squared plus 2x minus 3. Now what you're looking for is where it crosses the x-axis. And you should be able to put your mouse or your cursor above it, and it should tell you exactly where it is.
1.
Is that correct? Does it still work like that, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
All right. Is anybody doing it on their phone? How does it work on the phone? Do you have to tap on them, or? But it shows them just the same? Perfect. Is anybody using the graphing calculator? Yes. So the downside to the graphing calculator one is there's extra steps to find the answers other than just looking where they cross. Any kind of questions on what we're doing here? Okay. The awesome thing is this is all there is to it.
So would you write the answer as 1, 0 and then negative 3, 0?
Ah, good question. You can, but you're not going to need to. So when they use the words solution, root, or zero, they're generally looking for a single number. Or if it asks for the x-intercepts, then you can write it as a point. But like what I highlighted up there is often how you'll see the answer written. So you just have to make sure to say x equals.
Okay.
But other than that, you just write it as a single number. Yeah.
Is there a specific order you need to put them in or
No,
no?
most people just put them in numeric order, like small to big. And you're not going to have any more than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the reason that you have x equals negative 3 and 1 is because you only take the x's from where it's on the x-intercept?
Yes.
line?
Yep. Yep. Who should we go with? We should roll. We have not rolled for a little while.
Oh,
Oh, now I gotta put new numbers on here. I haven't gotten a roll in a long time. 25. I like how I rolled, but I actually have zero idea who's. So let's see. Alex, you are 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grant, you are 9. Hadley, you are 16. Alex, you are 22. Zach, you are 3, 4. 27. What do we get? 25? That's Kylie. What I was hoping you could tell me, and honestly, there's very little, info or answers to come from these. What happens when you plug -3 or 1 into the original equation? What do you get as an answer? Because some people have a hard time making this connection. What's the height of the graph at those spots? 0. Yep. So the whole thing that we're trying to find out, when you draw a graph, that's showing you what the height of the graph would be at different x values. We're essentially just trying to figure out when the height of the graph is 0. That's why they're called zeros, to be honest. I mean, that's the name. So that's what you're actually finding. So if you ever, for some reason, need to check your own work, if you plug the number back in and get an answer of 0, you've done it correct. Why don't you guys try this one on your own? I mean, not that you didn't do the last one on your own, but see if you can figure out the roots, solutions, or zeros.
And that's just the x-intercepts? Or the, yeah.
Yep, they're all the same thing. Yep. The downside is they have a lot of names. A lot of names that mean the same thing. Yeah.
I have the answer.
Oh, you have the answer. I was going to roll. I haven't gotten a roll in a long time. 17 is Bryce. I don't know if you're still tapping away at it. Did you get the answers already?
No.
Oh, Bryce. You looked like you were so busy over there. Hopefully it's not Clash of Clans or something.
Clash Royale.
It's what?
Clash Royale. I'm kidding. I don't.
Oh. What's the difference?
One's a,
Are they different games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but.
They're like the same thing, but in
company,
like a
same
different
characters,
font.
just different how you play it.
Got it. 20. Jaden. Oh, Jaden's gone. How did I not mark him gone?
How do you not recognize?
That should have been really easy to see. All right, I'm doing a bad job rolling here. I'm going to get the job taken away from me. Yeah, I'm going to get the job taken away. 12. Which is, well, that worked out well on it. What'd you get?
-5, 2.
Did everybody else get that?
I also.
Okay.
I got that.
Yeah.
Wait, could it also be,
What? Where's my graph? Okay.
For all your.
Could it also be marked as 2 -5, or is it always left
Yeah,
or
does
right?
it?
It won't actually matter. It's correct both ways.
Okay.
What the heck? What happened? Let me graph this then, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2.
Yep.
And looks like my axis of symmetry. What's the vertex at? -2.5? No, -1.5?
Yeah.
Something. What's the height?
12.25.
Oh, so way above the top. So way up there, okay. Well, it's a good thing you guys did this on the computer then. Oh God, that is, let's just pretend that didn't happen. That's a pretty ugly graph.
I noticed.
Yeah. That's the advantage of us doing it on Desmos, or the computer at least, is this equation, if we would have had to try to solve it by hand, and you had your vertex up there, there's a good chance you freehand drawing this would come out pretty rough and not even close to the actual correct answers. So -5 and 2, good. And then the third example is one like this, where it is possible you're not going to have zeros or solutions. So depending on how the parabola is drawn, you might not have any x values that would give you an answer of 0. And these are the different types of questions you guys can get. Now, I don't want to lull you in a false sense of security here. So this section, the idea of what we're doing, isn't going to be any different. Today's probably feels easier for you because you're not graphing them by hand. But the whole point of this section is to find answers that you can put in place of x to get an answer of 0. Tomorrow and Thursday, the other method we're going to use is factoring, which you may or may not remember from Algebra 1. I'm going to pretend that I'm going to treat it as if you remember nothing from Algebra 1. Because factoring is such a big thing in Algebra 2 and pre-calc and calc, depending on how far you go, you do factoring a lot. So it's an important idea, and so it's good that you get it down. So I'll try to teach it as if you haven't seen it before, even though you have. Okay, here is going to be your homework. Oh, you can't see them all. Let me zoom out. Well, it looks, yes, it looks rough because there's a lot of them.
So it's just a lot of putting in.
Yes, you're just going to type them all in.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's do it, Aaron.
There you go.
I'm just gonna
Oh, it's
go
still kind of cut off.
I'm doing
But yes,
another one.
you don't have to do any of this by hand. Only thing I need you guys to answer is the zeros.
Can I move to the outlet?
Sure.